Okay, I think we're live now.
Yes, hope so.
We are.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so we are missing Marco for the moment. Let's see if he joins in, and also Neda, but we are at least some of us here. So welcome everyone. There is an agenda that is tied to this stream, and if you have joined the Discord channel, you will actually see there is a Hackymd document that you can find. So the structure of today's course introduction is that we're going to make a short introduction of who we are, and those that are not here, we'll have to introduce them. So it's we'll see how that goes. And then we'll talk a little bit about the idea behind the course and which tools we're using. And I have some updates about availability of hardware. So if you wonder about that, which I know many of you do, I can hint that I actually spoke with Jim just recently before we started this session. But hang on, I won't tell you anything until later. And then we're going to talk a little bit about the hardware and the slow TV day and how we are going forward in this course. So that's about it. There will be very little about the actual details of planning. There will be no lecture material. We won't really talk about IoT today. This course introduction is a way for you to getting to know us and a little bit about the idea behind the course and what we are all doing here. But all practical details, all information, hopefully it should be clear and already on the Canvas page. And if you haven't looked at the study guide that I presented just the other day, then you should look at it. So let's go directly to the introduction of teachers. I just skip myself. I can take myself last in line. So Francis, you want to say hi?
Yes, This is Francis Palma, and as you might saw my name here and there, so I will be one of the teachers in this course. I will be helping out Frederick with many administrative stuff, but I will be not part of the workshops actively, rather than I will manage other parts of the courses. And happy to be with you in this year, third time in a row, I guess.
Yeah. And then we have Johan Leitet. You're new for this course.
I was in the background in the last course, I think, last year. My name is Johan, and I'm a lecturer in computer science, working mainly with client-side web development and server-side web development at the web developer program. I don't really know exactly what I will do, but I will be a little bit here, a little bit there, and I will work with the video streams, and I will probably be around. That's mainly it.
Yeah, that's great. And you mentioned the web programming program. So one of the things I just want to mention that we're using StreamYard now, we're using YouTube, and we're using all these tools. Johan is sort of the godfather of using these tools in the web program, because you have had a distance program in quite many years for the web programmers. So
and actually have old students that has helped developing this tool as well. So that's quite nice.
Yeah. So we get a little bit of web programming as well. So let's see. Then we have Neda as the next list.
I'm Neda, and for this summer course, it's supposed to have some guest lecture and help out Frederick, Francis, and others. And so happy that I am with you this year. It's my new, it's my first time, and I'm happy.
Yeah, and you are a postdoc, so postdoctoral researcher at Linnaeus University.
Researcher at Linnaeus University, and in the project of IoT for small and medium-sized companies. enterprises. So,
and then we have Marco.
Hello. Very nice meeting you all. It's my second year for this course, and I will be dealing mostly with the wireless communication part. So I love wireless, I love radio, and last year it was a great fun. It was a lot of discussion, and we discussed about many different wireless options and solutions. So I'm sure that this year we're going to have as much fun as we had last year, at least.
Yeah, but I remember we had this. We actually had a case when we discussed like the LoRa signal that was received over the Baltic Sea. It was more than how many kilometers was it?
Oh,
like 300, 350, I think, something like that.
Yeah, that's a spoiler, Frederick.
Yeah, no, we have spoiled everything now.
Yeah, we're going to talk about this long distance LoRa communication this year as well.
Yeah, and you're in which country and where in the world are you now?
I'm at the CTP, which is based in Trieste, near Venice, northeastern part of Italy. But I've spent some time in Sweden. I did my PhD at KTH in Stockholm. So part of my heart is in Sweden still.
Great. We'll see more of Marco also later on. And then we have Anna Förster. So welcome, Anna.
Hello from me also. So I'm Anna Förster. I'm a professor at the University of Bremen in Germany. Bremen is almost the most north of Germany. We have terrible weather right now here. It's 10 degrees and raining and winding. But I'm happy to be here. It's also my second year. Exactly, I think the same as for Marco and Pietro. We joined more or less at the same time. It was great fun last time, and I hope this time to be the same at least. I'm doing mostly research and also a lot of the teaching in the area of Internet of Things, but also in wireless communications in general, like opportunistic networks and space communications and also some other stuff. And here I will be telling you soonish next week about some IoT interesting applications which we're running and some hardware issues and sensor issues and battery issues and such things. So I'm looking forward to discussions and to questions.
Yeah. And you have you will be dealing with the hardware. So it will just so you can all place us on the map. So Marco will be like the communication, Anna more aligned to hardware, and Pietro more to the cloud.
And also energy for Anna.
Yeah, and energy. But as in IoT, like everyone more or less is working with all the pieces. So you will see us probably talking a little bit over each other others areas, I guess. So if you want, I'm just going to mention that if you have any questions of any kind, if you want to do ask something, there is a live stream channel on the Discord server.
Live lecture questions. Yeah.
Live lecture questions. Oh, did I say? Sorry. Live lecture question. You can ask here. Great. Just drop your questions there. Better to do that than to use YouTube, because we will have all the questions on one place and more people are able to answer. And you don't need to flash your full name on a public YouTube channel if you don't like that. So let's go to the agenda. So a little bit about the idea behind the course.
You skipped me.
Yeah.
Pietro, we are missing Pietro.
No, sorry, Pietro. Sorry.
What did I do to you?
Oh.
Okay. So I leave. Sorry. It was nice.
No, because you have a better weather than us, so we're jealous.
No, Frederick, I understand.
Shame on me. Sorry.
No,
We
don't worry.
just lost one of our teachers. It
was actually a trick to make my entrance more evident, more impressive. So
now we're in the spotlight. No, don't worry. Now you're in the spotlight.
Okay. So, well, hi everyone. I'm Pietro Manzoni. Originally Italian. Well, actually Italian, but I do live and work in Spain, in Polytechnic University in Valencia. So I think I'm probably the one in the southeast point of Spain of this group. Again, happy to repeat for my second year. And yes, as Frederick said, I will work kind of on top of, more on programming point of view. We'll talk about Dockers, how to deploy some IoT service based on Docker. And then I will describe a protocol, a very interesting protocol, which is MQTT, that enables different IoT devices to talk together and share information. So, and I will start, I guess, in a couple of weeks. So see you in a couple of weeks. Okay, yeah. Fred, now I can go.
Yep. No. So if you want, you can probably like take this part then, Pietro. If you like, what's the idea behind the course? You're here.
That's a good trick. Well, I guess the idea is to make it practical. So actually the way I structure my courses, but I'm sure also Anna and Marco and the others. So I will talk a little, and then what I will do is do some example of my programming, something that you can do as I'm doing them, or you can do whenever you want. I will use some Python. I will use some Docker. And yes, the basic idea is learn by doing, and try real examples of even small deployments of what you're going to do at the end with the real project where you will have to join the different pieces.
Yeah, and I think that what you said here is like the idea behind the course is that learn by doing. I think you said it very well. That when we started this course 3 years ago, we had an idea of a campus course. This was actually intended to be a campus course at the first beginning. We had made these workshops when we were going to sit together with students and build things and this obviously about IoT. Program things, connect sensors, so you get all the electronics and using LoRaWAN or Wi-Fi or whatever. But then we made it a distance course because of, well, you know it, Corona at that time. But we're keeping it as a distance course because this course has been so much fun. And we've reached so many people. And as you see now, there are almost 80 people watching live now. And we've had about 1,000 applicants for all the last 3 years. People buying hardware, exploring their own projects. And I think that's the idea behind the course. You should make something. You should create something, and then you learn. So instead of doing a set of very restricted lab work when you're going to hand in something to the teacher, we are giving you you can be as creative as you want. If you don't want to be creative, that's okay as well. You can, but it's actually more fun if you try to do something that solves a problem or does something that interests you. Yeah, and we try to do things a little bit, I would say, unconventional, but yeah, we are, as we see now, we're streaming on YouTube. We are not using the learning platforms as much as maybe other universities do. We are this year using Canvas, but we are still keeping everything public. And I'm a big believer in this, that we should share every knowledge that we get. We shouldn't put anything behind this university, I would say, My Moodle or Canvas sites, that when you do a hand-in and you do some amazing work, and then no one else than the teacher and perhaps a couple of other peer students are able to see it. So in this course, we're trying to share as much as possible. So you can help each other as much as you want. There is no limit on helping other students. I'm just saying, so you don't need to ask, am I allowed to help other students? Yes, you are, and you're encouraged to do that. You still need to do your own project and document it, but you can get all the help in the world because you still need to do it yourself.
And while you're talking about helping each other, maybe you already mentioned in the study guide. So this is also part of or this is also a condition for higher grade. So and the more help you others, and if your project is good enough, you will get a higher grade.
Exactly. And I know that the study guide it might be a bit vague for like, okay, how do I actually hand in my report, and then how is the points calculated and those things. We will talk more about those things later on. We will do it on the video Friday blogs, and there will be several videos on that. But the general idea is that you hand in your report in the end and do a couple of quizzes. That's about it. You make a documentation of your project, hand in the report, do a peer review. You have to read a couple of other girls' reports, and then you do a couple of quizzes. That's like the core of the examination. Okay, let's go further on. Which tools are we using, and why are we using them? So Discord, you already know that we are using. Why are we using Discord? Yeah. It's because of the workshops. It's because that we wanted to have this very practical approach and being able to do things together in a session. You can do this in many ways. We have tried Zoom, we have tried Slack, we have not tried anything more, I think. But the thing is that you have the power when using Discord. You as a student have the power to jump around to different rooms. And every room in Discord, like the voice channel, you will experience this when we have the workshop sessions. You can see how many people that are in the room. So it's more or less as it is in real world. You can go and you can look into a room and see, oh, is there anyone in there? Then I might want to join, or I might not want to join. You can actually peek into the room if someone is screen sharing without joining into the room. You don't need to share your camera or video. Like, you can jump into a room and just listen. So you as a student have all the power to choose how you participate. So we wanted to make that as easy as possible. And also the screen sharing in Discord is really good. It is a tool made for gamers, but as you see, it's actually really good for courses as well. Especially when you're doing a lot of different parallel sessions and you want to be able to jump around. So that is the main reason for Discord. And I know Discord can be a little bit of intimidating. If you haven't used Discord before and you're looking at this blackish style, you might get a little scared. You see so much things. But just try your best to use it, and you will for sure like it. I hope so. But there is no choice. We'll use it anyway. But I'm just saying, for this course, we have tried a couple of different things, and it's really the best tool for what we are aiming at. So that's why we use it. And then we used Canvas for the quizzes and the final report and peer review. That will be more or less like the standard system. If you need a grade, if you want a grade, we need to grade you, and that's what we use Canvas for.
Yeah, and also someone already mentioned on YouTube that Canvas is used in every universities in Sweden except LNU. So
yeah, but we are using it now. So yeah, and the thing is with Canvas is that Canvas is actually a quite nice way to we can make this peer reviews and quizzes in Canvas. So we'll utilize those things. But this page, this is actually an open page. So you don't need to log in to get to all the information that we're going to. So that will be open. You only need to log in if you want to do the quizzes and also submit your report. There won't be any hidden information for those that haven't logged in. That's the idea, at least. Yeah. Then GitHub and Hackymd. And you might see that I use a tool now called Hackymd. And you will see that I'm in edit mode now. Why are we using Hackymd, and why are we using GitHub? The thing here is that this is a really good way of making it easy to write a good technical report, and also learning a little bit about the Markdown language. which you will need to know if you're into this area of IoT and software engineering and such. Also a really good collaborative tool, and you can't change fonts, and that's a good thing. It's very simple, so that's why we use it. So you'll just have to get used to these two. You can choose. You don't need to use GitHub. It's an option. Look in the project IoT template later on if you want to dive into that. Then we have a little bit of the hardware discussions. I said that I had a discussion with Jim earlier, and there is in total 95 Pis ordered and 80 health tech devices. This is interesting because I thought that it would be a majority of students that ordered the cheaper option, the health tech. But it seems I was wrong. So we will end up with the majority of students with a 5 Pi. Jim said to me that you will most likely have them before the end of this week. So that's what he said to me. I have no further information. I hope that is what is going to happen. But even though the hardware is a bit late, we are going to accommodate for that. So in that case, we might start up with some basic workshops next week instead of this week. So however it goes, it will work out, because electric is really the biggest delivery. Will it apply to only those who ordered before May 13th? That's a very specific question. I don't know, but I think it applies for everyone that has ordered. That's at least what I think. And there is another question here that asked if an ESP32 is not enough. It is for sure enough. So you can get any ESP32 board and it will be fine. Okay, so that is one thing I want to mention as well, is that PyCom has run out, or they don't produce them, or I don't know, whatever, but the expansion board, they weren't able to deliver those. So they are going to send the PySense board instead, which essentially is an expansion board with a lot of, a couple of temperature, humidity, accelerometer, a couple of sensors on the board itself. So you will get more value for your money in that sense, but it will be, when you connect it, you won't have all the connections available, but we will show you a solution. So you'll just have to connect the TX RX pins to a breadboard, and then you're good to go. But it was not as what you ordered, but I think you will get something that is more expensive. Should we mention anything about choice recommendations of hardware? We have already mentioned that, I guess.
I think.
So everyone in the meeting are free to add whatever. So it's only me talking now. Maybe you want.
We are good, and we mentioned most of the things that we need.
So we can at least push a little bit for the slow TV day. Should we call it a slow TV day? I'm not sure.
I will not be slow. I promise you.
So maybe we could put a link to the last year's slow TV day, but we are going to have this on the 21st of June. So there are already a lot of lectures, and you will see that there will be a hard time actually following everything live, because there are days when you will have to sit in front of the computer more or less the whole day. So I think a couple of days next week, there will be lectures starting at 10 o'clock and ending at like 8 o'clock in the evening. So you will see a lot of us joining up and splitting up. So I think the strategy is that you join in for as much live as possible, because it's nice to have a live audience. You can get these questions live, but you will also need to plan so you can watch the lectures after it has been sent. Because we will have lectures that are going in the evenings and also earlier in the day. And there might actually end up a couple of more lectures which are not in the schedule just yet. We'll see. Anything more to add, Francis? Or
no, but there was a question about peer review. So why we have peer review policy?
Yeah, actually, there is. I think there are more than one reason why we have a peer review. One reason is that we sort of force everyone to read a couple of your other peers' reports. That is a good learning experience. You are actually forced to read at least 3 other people reports and give comments. So that I think is valuable. But there is one other reason as well. So if you're going to scale this kind of course, we are doing things in scale now. There are 200 reports. So in order for me to keep my head sane and not read 200 reports and give valuable feedback on 200 reports, and the same for Francis or all of us here, we are using the peer review as also a way of sort of streamlining the examination a little bit. Because if you have forgotten to write your title, forgotten to write your name, forgotten to write a bit of that and that and that, it will be noticed in the peer review. Mm-hmm. So you create like a very good base standard, so you won't miss all these obvious things. So that is also part of the reason.
Yeah, it's also kind of democratic process of evaluating. Like a good project should be get good grades and vice versa. So
yeah. So, but the peer review has worked out very well in the previous years. No problem at all. We will do a random peer review, so no blind review. So you will be able to see the other person's name, and they will be able to see yours. And then it's not that you're going to, like, you're helping your peer. That's the point of it. You should be giving comments that they make their report better. So that's the outcome, is that everyone is reading a couple of other reports and making them better. So overall, we will have a much better outcome of the course, and we will hopefully learn more. Yes. Have we missed any questions, or there are a lot of questions on the YouTube channel as well, I see.
No, it's only the report mainly, so you don't need to. So someone was asking how deep we should do the peer review. Is it only the report or the source code or the...
Not the source code, I would say. It's only the report. And those questions, it's really good questions. We will dive into them later on. So when we get to the peer review, we will be more specific on how you actually do the peer review. But there is a quite good point system. So you will actually have a rubric system of points that you hand out. But I will show you that later on. If you are very curious, there is a recorded video from last year, and it will not change this year either. So you can actually look at the IoT tutorial reports and see right away the answer to these questions.
And another very small question: what if someone missed the deadline or fail a quiz? I think we will have multiple opportunities, right?
Yes. So if you want to follow the course like streamlined, you have the deadlines on the Canvas page. No need to mention them now because I will probably say it wrong, but the deadlines are on the Canvas page. These quizzes are more of a tool for us to keep you active in the course. I would say that the quizzes are not they are not hard. They are not supposed to be hard. You can do them as many times you like. The point is that if you do it many times, you have most likely learned more than not doing them at all. The main examination this course is the project report. That's where we put their focus on. So the quizzes are more of a fun way to keep you like active in the course. So don't be worried about the quizzes. You will all do them very well. You can do them as many times as you like. And even if you miss the deadline and do everything late, it will work out good anyway. But with just the but is that you will risk of not getting a grade when the course ends. So if you fall behind, you will get your grade maybe in August and not this summer. That is sort of what will happen. Okay. Yeah, you are able to change your report after the peer reviews. You got the question. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Anna, were you about to say something or Neda? No.
Yes, there is a question here. They ask if we are going to talk about IoT layer security by design, or I just wanted to say that there is a lecture on 23rd June about security and privacy of IoT. So maybe he will talk about security design as well in this section, and we can cover it.
Yeah. So yeah, we will. Yeah, there will be a lot of different areas in IoT covered during this course. But we might want to mention is that, well, IoT is a super broad area.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we won't be able to, like, you might have something very specific that, oh, I want to know about this thing, and then we didn't talk about it. But that's because it will be impossible for us to sort of cover everything. But I can say that we have done, I mean, there are actually many lectures from last year and the year before that still are relevant. So we can put up a couple of lectures that we had last year and the previous year that will give like an added benefit to what you have this year. So, yeah.
And also there was a complex question about the complexity level of the project. So I think we did not discuss it in the study guide, right?
No, it's a complex question, and it's actually not. This is a very thing. That's why we want to have, like, if you want a higher grade, to make it very simple. If you like, oh, I want a higher grade, then you should book a time with one of the TAs. They and discuss your project.
Yeah.
And then you will sort of, because it is a complex question and it's a complex answer, it's not easy to say what is a higher grade, where there's a gray scale. But you need, if you want a high grade, you will need to do more than just a standard grade. It doesn't need to be the amount of sensors. So you might think that, oh, I'll put in yet another sensor and yet another sensor. Yeah, it can be still simple with many sensors, or you can have one sensor and do something more advanced.
You can use Docker, you can use other technologies to make it.
I would say that a standard project, if you just want to go for like a C or like want to learn, that's when you use a low-code IoT platform. So if you sort of don't host your own platform, you sort of onboard your device, you create your dashboard, but you do it with these low-code IoT solutions. If you want a high grade, you need to be into the area that you are at least looking at your own architecture. Maybe you don't need to host it, but it needs to be next layer of complexity from just using something that's already out there. So generally, I would say. But the answer is that please bring this up with the TAs, and then they will put you on a list. And why we have this system is that we also need to plan, because all those of you that want a high grade, you are required to present. And last week, we will have the presentation week, which is super fun. and then you will then all the people that have A and B grades, they will present their work. This is really, really fun. So you should all watch and join. But in able to plan that, well, we need to plan ahead. So you can't say the same day that, oh, I think I want a high grade, even though you haven't said it before, because then it will be very hard for us to plan. So,
yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And we will have a weekly video blog every Friday. That's worth mentioning. So it will be me, Francis, maybe Anna, Neda, Johan, Pietro, Marco, or maybe someone else. Perhaps not someone else, some of us, but with someone else. We'll see. But every Friday, we will discuss what has happened the last week and what will happen next week. So the video blog is not lecture material, but it will be all the things that is worth saying, like now it's time to do that quiz, and now you think about that, and next week we'll do that, and those things. So please join in for the video blog every Friday. We will distribute the times accordingly. And then Johan, you might want to mention about the YouTube channel. Should people subscribe or not?
Of course, they should subscribe to the CSLNU YouTube. We distribute all of our lectures, all material we do at the department, we distribute on that channel. Bear in mind, though, half of the material is probably in Swedish and half is in English. We should maybe start tagging up with like a flag or something, but it's hard with flags and languages. So I don't really know how we will do that, but please subscribe. Then we will reach more people interested in IoT, and this course can grow.
Yeah. Okay, so we've been live for 37 minutes now. Still have 95 people that are online. So do we have anything more to add?
So there was a question about how they can discuss their project ideas, or if they want to have a higher grade and so on with the TS. Yeah. So I guess there will be something from the TS coming up soon.
I think the first workshop is on Thursday, and this is going to be. I just want to mention that the TAs are going to take a really, really great part of the course. I would say, like all the practical things will be handled by them. They will all introduce themselves when you have the first workshop. So maybe they will introduce themselves during that session, and they have a plan. I think, I don't know the details, but I think that more or less last year's that you have joined the workshop, and then you say to any TA that is already in the workshop that I would like to discuss a project for a higher grade. And then you just jump over to another channel and discuss your project with a TA. And then they have a Google Drive document, and then they will put up your name. And in 3 weeks or so, before we start the planning of the presentations, we will have this list. So you can be very flexible, but the earlier you discuss your project with any TA, the better it is, because then they will also be able to help you. Like if you have the question, is this advanced enough or not? Well, you will get a hint. And if they don't know the answer, they will ask someone else. Or you can obviously ask us as well. But I think try to do this during the workshop sessions with the TAs.
Yeah.
Yes. There were a question about reading materials and that, but you have already answered that. So yeah, but there is no like formal books that you need to get hold of. This is a practical course, so we learn by doing, and you will get more or less everything you need in the workshops. So the workshops has a lot of reading material included. So there are a lot of workshop tutorials that you will follow along.
And very well done. Yeah.
So I would say generally the lectures that we have in this course, they will be more on a general level, like the general and broader area of IoT, what's happening out there, what kind of technologies for communication is there, and all those things. And then for the workshops, there will be like you doing things. And okay. But in that case, I won't keep you busy anymore. You'll find the links and everything, and please be active in Discord. I see that you've already started. But in that case, I'll see you next time. I don't remember now when the next time is. But very soon.
In the future, near future.
Yeah, in the future. Very soon. I'll see you all.
And tomorrow is my first lecture on introduction to IoT. So
yeah.
I will see you tomorrow.
Great. Okay. Thank you all for joining in.
Thank you. Bye-bye.